Yo, welcome to the latest edition of the Rap Nerds presented by the Music Support Group. We have, as you hear through your speakers, Glow Skywalker out of Atlanta. We got my man Kurt out there in LA. Say what's up to the people.
What's good, man? How's everybody doing? How are you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good, doing good. And we have a illustrious guest. We wanted to definitely have a fashion designer. I'm gonna call you a fashion designer if you don't like that, but
He a
I'm gonna
fashion
call you a fashion
designer, man.
designer
He a
for sure,
fashion
for sure.
designer, dog.
With the passion of Virgil Abloh this past week, we decided to have good friend of mine, dope brand, my man Jasper, owner of Cydonia. Introduce
What's
yourself
up?
to you, man. Tell us about yourself.
How you guys doing, man? I feel honored. Number one, when you reached out to me, you said you had something. I already knew it was something I needed to focus on. That's why I tried to hit you right back. So,
Yeah,
now I appreciate you guys inviting me. I'm a fan. I'm in the car a lot, so I listen to a lot of different podcasts. Or
yeah.
just that's the world we're in. So I feel, this is big for me.
Now, we
I appreciate
appreciate you, man. I feel we got a big fashion designer. I'm like I've been seeing your stuff in and around on the internet, in
you.
person. It's a dope brand. I got a little hat right here, so I don't hear like my man. You see my man wearing it. No, it's a dope brand. No, we definitely gotta get you some stuff too, Kurt. You got
I know, man. We gotta
you on
Yeah,
your
I
way.
probably, I probably
get
should
the
have,
merch.
I should have sent that out before this, so we all could have
It's
been.
all good, man.
It's all good,
It came
bro.
together so last minute,
It's
man. We
yeah,
just
it's all
appreciate you for
good. It's
hopping
all
on,
good.
man.
Not for
They
real, for real,
would
for
have
real.
thought we was a gang. I've been out. I've been out sometimes, and I got a couple different things, and then people will say, "Okay, what team do y'all play for? What's the
Yeah.
season?" Like, why is everybody wearing that? Dang, everybody is. Everybody is.
Hey, everybody wearing it because it's fresh.
Yeah.
It's and if people in and around you ain't rocking your stuff, like you said, like you mentioned before we got on the air, like if you can't rock your stuff every day, you're doing it wrong.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
gotta be
that's
comfortable watching your stuff. It's right. Be rocking like Nike or whatever.
yeah. No, that's big. I mean, I just feel humble to make something that other people like because they don't have to.
Yeah,
So it's like, but what they don't know is it's just me being myself. I'm like, I think I want a beanie today, so let me go make one. You know.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
All right, and then
definitely, man.
okay, that's pretty cool. So I'm very humble about it. It's been fun.
Yeah,
I get to, like I said, I get to be me. It's been 4 years that I've been doing it, but it's just been off and on, and it's been fun. But the funnest part or the best part is the journey.
yeah,
I fell in love with the process. So like the end result, everybody, I don't care what anybody says about the end result because the process was so much fun. So
mm,
uh, yeah, I mean, I'm a student. I'm a little kid right now.
yeah.
I'm a little
As
kid.
dope, as dope. I mean, I know we mentioned Virgil, and a lot of what he would say, and like when he did his interviews, is like that was like he was. What do you say? I think he said, everything he's doing is like for his 17-year-old self. Like
Yep.
everything he was doing was like that things that he wanted to do when he was a youth, and so that kind of like played into a lot of his designs that he did from Ben Trill to Pyrex to off white to all the way to becoming the fashion director of Louis V. Like everything he was doing, the furniture he did for IKEA, like everything he was doing was kind of tapping into his youth. And so I think
It's
it's dope
crazy
to
that
hearing you say
it's
that
crazy that he
the
dabbled
same
in
way, and that's kind
furniture
of
as
like
well.
showing in your work.
Like, did you just hear what you say?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
if people
crazy that
really,
he dabbled in furniture as well. Like,
Yeah,
man,
that's insane.
yeah,
just
Um,
just his start from Ben Trill to
yep.
LV like that.
LV, one of the biggest fashion houses in the world.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
yeah. What
you
you were
not
saying, Kurt?
inspired. You not
no,
inspired.
go
It's
ahead.
crazy.
No. Yeah, if yeah, we can go ahead and hop into what we've been listening to before we even hop into
Yeah.
the interview
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
everything.
We always do that segment, like we said. What we've been listening to lately. Um, what? Let's start with our guest,
Yeah,
Jasper. What you been rocking with? I know you're a huge Larry June and Dom K fan, so tell us, tell us,
Yeah.
tell us what you had in your rotation.
So I've been in a time capsule right now. I'm not gonna lie. I've been listening to Faith Evans a lot. Like,
Okay,
sounds crazy. Sounds
ain't,
very different, but yeah, I've been listening to. She
ain't
has
too
some.
crazy.
She
Ain't too
has some.
crazy.
And I've been listening to Willie Hutch on a Mac.
Mm,
Like that soundtrack pretty crazy. But that's
okay.
man.
what I've been listening to. That's what I've been listening to.
You've
I
been
feel
in some
like
like your cool vibes.
every song off that Willie Hutch the Mac album has been like sampled in hip hop some
Yeah,
form, some way or another. Like
yeah.
it's insane. Like that. I don't know if he just had to sell everything off. Like he just, but legit,
Just take it. Just take it.
just take it all. But like
Take it
legit,
all.
like every almost every song off that album has been like sampled in some form or another.
And a classic movie too. A classic movie.
Yeah,
The
I
Mac.
don't think I've never seen the Mac before.
You gotta see
Maybe
that.
on that.
You gotta see it. It's
I gotta see
hard to
that.
find. It's hard
Yeah.
to.
That's why I never. So I remember listening. I ran the album like maybe two
Yep.
3 years ago.
Yep. I had to get on DVD. I had to get on DVD from Amazon just to
Man,
watch it.
so like I ran the album maybe 2 3 years ago or whatever because my big homie Glenn told me about it. And I ran and I was like, man, I need to watch the movie. So I went online, tried to buy it on Amazon or whatever, but I don't even think it's on Amazon. So
Not anymore.
I had to check again.
My brother took my copy. My brother took my copy. We texted with it. Now I gotta find another copy of it. I don't have a DVD player, but I feel like I still need to have the physical copy. You know, like my man just up and took it, and now I see him tweeting and quoting the movie
how
and all
am I
that. I'm
gonna
like,
watch
man,
it, bro? How you gonna watch it? If you got it, like
I don't know.
I got
man.
the PS5. That don't have the disc no more. My computers don't have disc no more. So
They've legislated disc out of everything.
Rotation.
It's crazy.
Oh, you go ahead though, bro. Before me, my playlist has been pretty whack. So you can go ahead, Darren.
And talking about me?
Yeah.
All right. So me. Well, first I'll start off like this past week. I had I don't know if you've heard of like Sound Clash. But essentially it's like these two artists, they share a stage and they have rounds where they're playing music, either their own music or they're playing music or their own renditions of songs, kind of like a challenge. The crowd's kind of like there cheering them on and rooting and voting via cheers who wins. Anyways, Westside Boogie and Drum or Shelly, formerly known as Ron, did like a Red Bull sponsored version of that event this past Tuesday in Atlanta, and it was dope. It was like popping. They started off like the rounds, the way they were set up was 4 different rounds. And the first round, I think it was I was taking notes. I was over there getting a little buzz and taking notes. So I wanted to talk about it.
Journalist, right?
You know what I'm saying? So the first round, like both artists like were covering a song, right? And so the first song was they both had to cover Roses, and they had to do their Outkast's Roses, and they had to do their own rendition of it. And Shelly like snapped. He did like this slowed down like ballad type version of and he could sing too. And so everyone was like, yo, this is crazy. Even Westside Boogie was like, you know what, you won. I'm gonna do my own thing, but you clearly won this round. Like it was crazy. And then like round 2 was like a takeover, right? So they each had to play their own or the other artists' like one of their hits. And so Shelly did like a chopped and screwed version of Take Care. I Could Take Care, or you did like a chopped and screwed live version. That joint was crazy. I know you appreciate chopped and screwed, and that joint was dope. Boogie's was cool too. He did like I don't know. It's they both kind of like they had to do the song together and they were leaning into their strengths. So Boogie was doing like his rapping style was like unique rapping style, and Shelly was doing like his more ballad singing type of style. But that was dope. And then they both ended by bringing out a guest. Shelly brought out Baby T. I wasn't familiar with her, but I'm a fan now. She's a hell dope rapper. I'm not really sure where she's from, but dope rapper. But then Boogie, like he brought out Black, and it was in Atlanta, and that just like that was like some mirror shit. He came out and everyone was singing word for word. It was just like you would have thought it was his show. It was a good, overall good show though. It was a dope show. So because of that, I've been listening to a lot of both of their music the past week. On top of obviously still doing Thug.
Still running that Thug.
Still running Thug.
Still running Pump.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's man. I you know me. I had to take a step back from certain albums. Once I overrun them or whatever. So I've been kind of taking a break from Pump. But I picked up on "Call Me If You Get Lost" by Tyler. Been running that again. That Adele album, 30. That shit is fire.
That shit heavy. That shit heavy. That's it. Matter of fact, Friday night I was hanging with some friends, and we were just like doing some, just hanging out, and we were playing. That someone had played. Kendra had was on DJ, and she's played. I forget what Adele track it was, but I just kind of was like paused, I was just swaying back and forth. I was just like in a trance. Like it was so good. I was like, yo, this music is incredible. This album, like it was dope.
All night parking and like. My Little Love, Cry Your Heart Out is dope, and I Drink Wine, or just like, man, this white woman here.
You know what's crazy? So this probably about to sound insane, but I have never listened to Adele ever in my life.
Really?
That would sound insane. Ain't too crazy.
Somebody tweeted something like about my little love. And so I was like, okay, let me, everybody's talking about this lady. I respect her, but I haven't listened to her. So I don't know. I get in my own little world. So I was like, let me see if I can invite this in. I played My Little Love. I almost cried.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful track.
I was like, what? Like,
what is this? Like, what?
Where have I been?
Yeah.
And then I like that because I get to go research.
I got put onto Adele back in I think maybe 2010. When I was listening to Crit Hometown Hero, he dropped Hometown Hero.
Yeah.
And he sampled Adele. So I went back and listened to the original. The original is incredible. She's just talking about London or whatever. But yeah, 19. I think it's on 19. 19, 21, and 25 are just insane, bro.
25 was one. I actually bought that album. Now I'm looking at it.
Somebody, my old coworker knew I loved Adele so much, and he bought me 25. I still have it. He bought me 25 for like a Christmas gift. I was like, bro, this is one of the best Christmas gifts I've ever received.
That's crazy. I can't wait to do research. I can't wait to do my research.
Yeah,
Back
man,
when
you gotta get into Adele, man. You gotta get into Adele. There's a reason Rich Paul is winning, brother.
That's what I was thinking.
Gotta get into Adele, man.
My man Rich said, my man Rich is boy, who would have
we
thought?
about to get canceled. Let's stop.
Who would have thought? Not just for real, like who would have thought?
I
What's
think
his backstory?
that's a
Like
big come up, man.
he was selling
That is a
throwback
big
out the
come
back
up,
of
man.
his trunk. He was a 21 when he met
And
LeBron. Now he's a
man.
agent mogul, and on his arm is
biggest
Adele.
R&B.
Like I don't even know
I don't
Adele's
know
last
she's
name.
R&B. I don't even know.
I don't even know her last name. She's so cold. She's like the single name moniker. Like that's where you're at now.
Also been running in the evening with Silk Sonic. I think that's R&B album of the year. We'll get into that later. Jonathan McReynolds and Molly Music, two gospel artists, teamed up and made this Johnny and Molly Live in LA album. It's pretty dope. They have this song called Adulting that's pretty good. Just talks about the struggles of being an adult and, worrying and all this stuff is pretty good.
Boy.
And
Listen to that right now and cry.
Drones by Terrence Martin. Drones by
that
Terrence
jazz
Martin
joint. Yeah.
is really, really good. And that's about it, man. And I've been dabbling, just, like I said, call me if you get lost. Just trying to go back and listen to some albums, that I thought were good throughout the year.
R.P. Dolph. Been rocking Dolph too.
Oh, I've been running a lot of Dolph too, man. That was sad.
Dolph.
I ain't stopped.
Man,
I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. So
that was heartbreaking, man. And I was in Memphis the day he got shot too. So that was.
You told me it was crazy out there when it was going
wild,
on.
Man, city was on curfew, everything, bro.
That's crazy.
It was wild. But yeah, R.I.P. Dolph. We lost a lot, man. We lost a lot of hip hop like cultural icons within like the past, few weeks. That's insane. Like big cultural icons. Like we've been running Dolph for a while, man.
Dolph, and then
the
Virgil came out of nowhere. But it's funny, and we can use this to transition into Jasper stuff too. Like Virgil being a culture icon, but also a hip hop icon, a fashion icon. Like he was all these things, but he was no one thing, right? Like and I think that's like the perfect representation of hip hop too, because hip hop is all these things. It's not one thing, but it's all these things. Like you can like even like that Charles mentioning, like Shelly does, he can be categorized as hip hop artist and rap, but he does rap, but he also does R&B. Boogie has some singing tracks as well. Like there's so many different layers of rap. Virgil was a DJ, and I don't know, he was on the EDM scene as well. And that was like a disciple of hip hop too. Like it's just crazy how he was all these things, and then he helped catapult hip hop and hip hop artists into the fashion world. Him and Kanye and their take on. I mean, I wouldn't even call it was streetwear, but now streetwear is like an actual thing. Like it's high fashion now. Like he even has like a show on HBO, like a whole fashion show. Like it's wild seeing that you recognize it, but then when someone passes, like now the whole world stops and so, all right, this is what his impact was, and this is how impactful it was.
I think that was the biggest thing for me, right? Like it's when I heard that he passed, like a lot of, I guess, like I don't even want to just like label him as just a designer, but you know, a lot of designers like himself, you don't really see their impacts or whatever. Or I would just call them artists. You don't really see their impacts until like maybe 5-10 years down the line, right?
Mhm.
But like we're living in it, you know, currently,
Literally.
and it's heavy and it's influencing every single thing. You know what I'm saying? Like his impact was tremendous. It was crazy. It was
You don't
insane.
have like Playboy Cardi walking down a runway in Paris in Fashion Week without
Yeah, I
Virgil.
mean
Like it doesn't happen.
he's getting shout outs in rap songs. You know, I'm hitting up Virgil for the exclusive. Like this is,
So
you
Virgil
know,
write brick on my brick.
yeah.
Like what? Like, tell him write brick on my brick.
Man, don't they talk more shit than the West Side.
Bro, he gonna talk that shit. That's what makes his. I don't even think he be rapping. He just be talking shit. Like it's.
It's
You
just
gotta
crazy.
love him. You gotta love him.
So,
You know.
so Jasper, like, how did Virgil influence your art? You know, your artistry. You talked about him earlier, his impact, but like, how does he, you know, specifically influence your artistry?
Yeah, so before this interview, I I'm a super Virgil fan. Like you said, he was some of everything, but it's like he's a rock star, So I was like, well, if you're a rock star, you should study a rock star. That's what you want to be or want to, you aspire to be. Because I feel like he inspired a lot of people. So um, his impact, like, is huge. I mean, Ben Trill, like, we know that's a street brand. Like, that's a brand that everybody was really rocking with. And then for him to take it from there all the way to LV is like, okay. And then you got the rappers behind you too. So it's like our culture is gonna. We notice the rappers. We might not listen to them or follow them, but we notice them. And so when we notice rappers, we notice luxury and streetwear. So I did some research, of course, on Virgil, and he said he wanted his ideas to be so dope that the CEO of Louis Vuitton was asking him, "Dang, did you bring the streets in here?" And it's like, I want you to think about what he just said. Like, the CEO of Louis Vuitton, did you just bring the streets in here?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's what I did. Like,
I brought the streets.
You put your people on with you. So it's like, but they know that's what's selling or that's what's hot. But it's always been that way. So it's always.
And I think the taking it to the next step is like, right, the selling part, right? That's what's selling, right? I say we've, but Virgil and the hip hop is always kind of like driven what consumers are purchasing. But then when you kind of intertwine fashion, and that was driving what people are buying too, right? We always talked about whether it be luxury brands, whatever the case may be. But now with streetwear, when you making that high fashion like Virgil did, and now you're dictating even what these fashion brands are doing, the style of clothing that they're making is like streetwear, then or the streetwear style, then that's like you've really not only shifted the producer, but you've shifted buying habits. You've just created an entire new way of consuming clothing. Like that's, and I think that's like what him and all his disciples have been like. That's their ultimate impact. Like you've fundamentally changed how we buy and sell and wear clothes. Like that's, and not just in hip hop, but just outside of that. Like everything just kind of branches out from that. Like you're seeing, you see streetwear and streetwear style of clothing in every line of fashion now, in some capacity. I think that's like another part of his lasting impact.
You mind if I ask you guys a question though?
Oh, go for it.
Do you think that Virgil needed Louis Vuitton, or do you think Louis Vuitton needed Virgil?
I think Louis Vuitton.
I think it was equal partnership.
It was equal partnership, but I think Louis Vuitton needed him more than Virgil needed them.
Yeah.
Like Louis Vuitton needed him to say, okay, like we were just talking about the streetwear part of it. Like they didn't know what the hell to do. Yeah. They didn't know what direction to go with that. But Virgil was already ascending. Like he didn't need them.
Yeah, I think it gave Virgil the extra stamp of approval that he needed from just the quote unquote leaders of the fashion world. That hey, I'm the man. But once he got that, I don't think he needed them per se. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have literally branched off and created his own version of Louis Vuitton or whatever, right?
So with talking about like that, like we know what Virgil created. Let's talk about you, Jasper. Like how did Cydonia come about? How did even if, whatever the level, varying level of influence that Virgil was in it, like what were your core influences and how did it come about? And how did you even like, decide this is the type of clothing and lifestyle brand that I want to create?
So my story is super simple, man. Like I have 3 siblings, and so it wasn't like my folks were. Man, my folks, I feel like everything was great. Like I didn't know what we wanted for anything, and I didn't want for anything.
Yeah.
Like I loved it all. But I will say this: I always wanted Jordans when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
like we never really got them. But my mom would always give me. You know what's crazy? My mom used to buy me Dunks all the time. So I remember I had Dunks in middle school and all that. But I just remember, when I get to college, it's pretty crazy, man. You get to college and you look around and people are dressing differently or whatever. And, people flexing. Like, I did a little bit of the HBCU thing, and then I also went to another college. But you get to see all that.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know. I was noticing early, like, man, everybody's looking the same or trying to look a certain way. It's like the stuff I wanted, I couldn't afford, and the stuff I could afford, I didn't want. So it was like, all right, well, and I just kept talking shit about it. Like people talking stuff about it. People might criticize something, but what are you doing? Like, you just a critic. These people are in the game. So I started buying my own things. I started creating my own things, putting little pins in it, or just doing little stitching to it, or getting a shirt screen printed to where it was like, I had some of my friends say, "Oh, what's that?" I was like, "Oh, it's something I found." At first, I wasn't even telling people. It was like, "Oh, it's something I found." I was like, "Oh, that's pretty dope." Go get, like, I had homies ask me, "Oh, go make another one or find another."
Yeah.
And then they found out I was making them, so I was just giving them to them. I was like, "Yeah, here, take this. If you like this, do that, do that." And then I just told myself, I was like, "Man, I'm gonna start charging y'all."
I can't be doing all this for free. Like, it's coming out of my pocket.
Yeah, I was like, man, like I'm making a lot, but I like that they really liked it. So, I like that my ideas were cool enough, because I was just like, well, I don't look like you, I don't look like you, and that's cool to me. And then I just knew things got serious when I had one of my friends, she wore a shirt over in Tokyo, and to me that was just like, wow, I haven't been over there, but somebody in Tokyo has seen this, so, like, let me try to get out there too. And I've been to places too.
Saw your logo.
Yeah,
your logo in Tokyo. Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's just, I don't know, it's just been fun, and I've just been creating and having fun, being a kid like you guys are talking about. That's it, and I mean, it's a journey, it's ups and downs, but I fell in love with the process.
Like, how'd you get to that name, and what does that name mean to you, Cydonia?
Yeah, so Cydonia. So Cydonia, it means everything to me, but to the regular person or whatever, or the person interested in the brand, it's if you guys got time, I guess we got time. But there's a crater on Mars, and it looks like a face. And so you can Google this, you can look it up, it's all real. And my homie Clay, me and him were chopping it up, and we were talking about this idea. And he was just like, man, like, I think you should like run with this. Like, this shit is crazy. And I just thought to myself, like, man, we've done everything there is to do on Earth. Like, we've done everything. Like, who's to say that's not me face planting into Mars, trying something different? Like, my dad used to say, if you make a mistake falling forward, like trying to do the right thing. And so I've made a lot of mistakes. I fell on my face a lot. So I say, that's my face. Like, that's me face planting into Mars, trying something different. Not scared to fail. And I want like-minded people like that, because those, you come with better ideas that way. You think that it's a better perspective, if you're not scared to fail, not scared to fall. So Cydonians are people who think that way. So yeah.
That's dope.
A lot of your designs, was it I know you're like, you draw, right? Like, you draw, like, do you have a background in drawing and seam, and like, do you do your own sewing as well,
like,
or or is it just kind of like you draw and work with other?
Yeah, so like my process is, and I guess some more of my story. Yeah, I learned how to draw when I was 7 years old. My mom taught me how to draw, and I didn't think nothing of it. I thought everybody could, until I found out.
I can barely write my own name. Dog. I got the worst penmanship ever. Like I can't draw nothing.
Stick figures.
Bro, I can't even
when
do
I be
that
drawing
right,
my
dog.
son,
Yeah.
bro, we stick figures.
Bro,
This
if
is
we take
Barbie.
computers away from me, I'm done. I'm
No,
done.
I mean, I hear y'all, but before I was drawing, I was doing stick figures too. I'm trying to tell you. So I feel like, man, like if you have patience, I don't know, it depends, but if you have patience, you can learn. I like to think that, but yeah, I was doing art my whole life. I even went to middle school for art and high school. It was a super thing for me. Like I got scholarships for all that, but I didn't want to do that. I really didn't want to do that because my art teacher wasn't like doing nothing fly. Like she was just art. And I was like, well, I don't want to be that. So, if I really love it, I'll come back to it. And I've been trying to run from it, but it was hard. So it got back to me. And then now I'm just, using my art to influence some of the designs. Just being me. I mean, art is me. So I feel like I give everybody a piece of art and a lesson with every design. So my first design, I don't know if you guys have a picture or we'll show people, but my first design is a picture I did of Tupac. And if anybody knows, Tupac was like a trailblazer, his own person or whatever. And I did a tribute to Death Row East. That was like one of his last interviews. And like he just looked so determined. And one thing he said was mind over matter and taking our strengths and taking our weaknesses and making them our strengths. It's just like this dude is like 20. I mean, he's in his early 20s.
Yeah.
And listen how militant he's like. He's so focused. He's at a award show, and they asked him like, "Are you upset that you didn't get this award?" He was like, "No." Let me go straight into what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
No, he was just so focused. And people might say, "Oh, he went about it the wrong way. He was mean. He was a trump, but he fell for it." And you remember him. So.
Is that why you incorporate a lot of Tupac and also Aaliyah as well? Like these people that they died when they were young. Like what Aaliyah was 23 or 21, and Pac was 25. Like, is that why you kind of have them in a lot of your work? You see them as trailblazers.
Well, yeah, I definitely see them as trailblazers. Aaliyah is a cheat code. Like that's been a crush.
Yeah, everybody loves some Aaliyah, though. That's
Yeah, I hear you, but they just be talking like we're really together, but no, I just I feel like she was definitely a trailblazer too, as far as like with the fashion and all that, and I just feel like she was a beautiful soul, like not even just the looks, but I don't really know her like that, but if you really listen to her interviews, she sounded very genuine, and so that's somebody. Tupac, of course, but I'm just a student of the game, like music and all that. So all my shit is really just, stuff I saw growing up or stuff I'm interested in or stuff I don't really know about. So I had to go do some research to do. So yeah, like my last design was this Birmingham Barons out there.
I was gonna ask about that, yeah.
Yeah, and so
from the Negro League.
Yeah, from the Negro League. Yeah, make sure that's known. So, a lot of people know about Michael Jordan, and then what's crazy is if you mention baseball, they say, "Oh, he sucked. He was terrible," or whatever. And it was like,
it was pretty average.
I mean, to be honest, it don't matter what he did.
The fact that he was average is incredible in itself.
Yeah.
Like that's not the fact that I need y'all to understand.
That's
like
my point. Yeah, like he was pretty average. Like
I did a story on that because it's like you think of Michael Jordan, you only think of basketball, but man, Michael Jordan took a chance. He was at the top. He just won a ring, and he said, "I think I want to go try baseball."
Peak of his career.
Everybody told him no. And he still took a chance and fell forward. And then, so he fell forward, and he's in Birmingham, Alabama, of all places, on a Negro League team.
Chasing his dreams, yep.
And Willie Mays played on that team, Satchel Paige. Like, it's so much history there. And so, I grew up in Alabama, too. I grew up in Montgomery, and so it's like, he was up the street. Like, if you really think about it, like, Michael Jordan, Alabama, what was he doing? What was he eating? How was it? So I feel like a lot of people just skimmed over that story, or they caught his baseball career.
That's a dope way to break it down, man. Like he legit like jumped off the mountain, started from the bottom or whatever in Birmingham, Alabama, chasing his dreams, right? Like chasing his childhood dreams. You know, that's.
You got pretty damn close. Like you got close to a lot of other people. Like it's like that wasn't no easy thing what you did, man.
Then he woke
Man,
up.
he
and was like,
won.
let me go get this money real quick.
I've done enough. Let me get back to what I know how to do. I can't. I've done enough.
But that's a dope way to think about it. That's a dope way to, that's a dope thing to even build your brand off of. Right? Like, I mean, this podcast is about as well. Like, this is us kind of just like throwing ourselves out there in the world and just being like, hey, we're here. You know what I'm saying? We're trying, we're getting better or whatever. We're working for it. But yeah, that's dope, man. This is dope. You got anything else there? You got any other questions?
Oh yeah, he got some upcoming drops. I know he's wearing some gear that's not available right now. So tell us some more about what's upcoming.
Give us the website, all this stuff, where we can buy all this stuff, man. We'll obviously we do this at the end of the show, but yeah, give us all this stuff, man.
But yeah, I'm just my brand page is Cydonians with a Z, CYDONIANZ, and that's on Instagram. My regular Instagram is Pusherman Ray, but it's all, I mean, you're just gonna see Cydonia on both, but that's Instagram. I'm not really, that's really what I'm on right now. I'm also on Tumblr, just playing around a little bit, but
are people still do Tumblr? Is that
no, it's not really a thing, but what I do?
That was for like the OG, like, oh, I'm super creative type people, whatever. Like I
never got to Tumblr.
I wasn't cool heavy. I was on Tumblr heavy. I didn't know that was still a thing.
It's really not a thing. I'm gonna tell you what I do. I get on Tumblr and I look at only my page, like, because I know my page is so old.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what so it's more so like creative purposes in that way.
Yeah,
like,
it's like it was like, what was Jasper
inspiration
or whatever.
Yeah, what was Jasper thinking like that year? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I making that person happy? So the little stuff like that. So.
That's what's up. I like to do that with I like to do that with like old writings that I do. Like I like to go back and be like, what was I thinking in this moment or whatever. What's on
the walls? What you got on the walls?
So workouts right here.
Okay.
Behind me, I have right here. I have a list of like things I'm grateful for. So every time I enter my garage, I try to write down like one thing I'm grateful for. And it's it's becoming very hard. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like
give an abundance of blessings.
Yeah,
abundance of blessings.
And it's like, damn, like what am I grateful for? You know what I'm saying? Like you really have to sit down and think about it. Like I mark down the obvious things: family, friends, food, health, blah blah blah. But after that, it's like you really got to sit down and think for it. Like I am kind of thankful for my job. Right, like it puts, provides for me or whatever. I'm thankful for my car. A lot of people don't have cars or whatever, so it's literally like just my new stuff that I'm thankful for. So I try to come in here and just be like that, just give thanks and
I don't have nothing cool on my wall but a clock. The shit that holds my mail. I'm not that cool, guys. I just some golf clubs in the back, couch. I'm not that cool, but
it's just something to shake things up for me. Just kind of just be grateful. Just be thankful for the day in a sense.
Yeah, next episode I'm gonna have some cool shit on the wall. Put some artwork up. I got some artwork to hang anyway, so let me do that. Y'all ain't gonna outshine me. The hell, got me fucked up. Got me out here looking lame.
Y'all did ask about the beanies, so these are dropping very very soon. I actually got a shoot later on today. I've been sitting on these, but it's all about execution. So I'm thinking these are actually going to probably drop in December before this month is over. Probably
perfect,
soon.
Man. It's cold, man. It's winter time.
I have a question about like how do you do like distribution and everything? How do you have to buy in bulk? Like how do you handle your distribution?
Yeah, I mean, so I just bet on myself every time. It's like this is my design. I'm gonna make this many of them, and then I go execute. I go make sure I told the story the right way because I did the design. I told the story in the design, so now I got to tell the story the right way and how I give it to you, and then just ship it out.
So I was peeping your Instagram, and you just talked about the Birmingham Barons thing. So is that part of like your storytelling and like your Instagram pages or whatever? And like you had like the pictures of like Michael Jordan in there or whatever in the logo. Is that how you know go through your storytelling? Is through your Instagram page, or like how do you
Yeah.
how do you purposely do storytelling? Videos like.
Well, I used to do videos. You know, I'm always around, like I'm in different places. So, my cameraman is in a certain place. He knows who he is, and I gotta make my way back down there because man, we told some beautiful stories. But yeah, Instagram is where you can see some of it. But I also want you to do your own research. Like I'm not just saying this stuff. I want people to really do their research, and I can't give them too much, so I just give them some images and then let them tell the rest of the story and make it their own.
Kind of pique their interest a little bit, like what's he got going on or whatever, or what's he on?
Yeah, I'm on a different planet, different planet. So yeah.
So yeah, we can. You got any more questions there?
I'm over here just looking at the stuff because what be happening is like I'll be ready to buy and then like stuff be selling out. Like he had these shorts, these like jersey type shorts that sold out.
It, man. We need to do like a Rap Nerds,
like a collab or a shirt. Yeah, that'd be dope.
We need to do that.
I feel like y'all are telling me what to send y'all.
That'd be dope.
We just need
that'd be dope. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be collab, man.
We shorts. We can do like a little collab. We get we little Rap Nerds side to whatever works for him, whatever works for his brand.
We'll talk off air, dog. We'll talk off air.
But nah, I don't got no other questions, man. We appreciate you kind of giving us some backstory, man. And telling us about Cydonia, man. I feel like we're Cydonians now. We definitely feel like we for sure. Yeah, we could wrap up with talk about like our favorite moments in music from the past year. Last year we started for the first time. We did our own little award, nomination where we all submitted.
Screw the Grammys, screw the BET Awards.
Not take ourselves too serious.
VMAs, the AMAs, all that junk is trash.
Yeah,
it's all about
one day artists will care about it. One day.
We're gonna get a trophy this year. We're gonna get like a bottle of tequila. What's the tequila everybody be drinking? What's the tequila everybody be drinking? We're gonna give them a cinema bottle.
Casamigos or something.
Casamigos.
Jesus Christ.
We're gonna send them a bottle of Casamigos. Right. Congratulations on winning Artist of the Year. Music Support Group Awards. This is the second annual. I'm excited, bro. Y'all gotta get excited. The second annual Music Support Group Awards.
You wanna run through the categories?
Yeah, man. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 categories this year. Music Video of the Year. We added that this year. Song of the Year. Best New Artist. Rap Album of the Year. R&B Album of the Year. We added that for some people. Artist of the Year, and then Album of the Year.
All right, we're gonna put Jasper on the spot then. we gonna put Jasper on the spot there. So we're gonna like go each category and just like rapid fire. Like you don't gotta think too much about it.
Think too much about it. Yeah. So for music video of the year, who you got?
Music video of the year. I'm a YouTube junkie. I'm gonna say Dom Kennedy's Deep Thought was
I haven't seen it.
That's off the West Side with Love 3?
Yeah, y'all gotta see that one. It's just beautiful. I don't want to give it away, but you wouldn't expect that.
That's a dope album. That's a very dope album. I wasn't expecting that from Dom Kennedy in 2021. So I
was happy with the video. I rock with it a lot.
I gotta leave that man alone, man. Y'all gotta leave.
I
need you to understand. I need you to understand, Jasper.
Like
he's
even like
LA.
He's
even played Best Side from Bobby too. So I need you to understand. He's like a diehard for real.
Like he can do no wrong.
My man been sticking through the tough times.
I'm gonna stick beside him.
He said, "I'm gonna stick beside him." Oh man!
All right, who you got for music video of the year?
Oh, you put me on the spot too?
Yeah, your nomination.
Oh man, I don't even watch the music videos. Shit, Darth Guap ticking, still ticking.
There we go.
Yeah.
The show.
We still gotta get him on the show, man.
He'll join eventually, man. He gonna be on his own time. We've been teasing him for like 6 months now. Whenever he's ready, we just.
I know you listen to this, man. Whenever you're ready, hit us up, dog. You text us and be like, I'm ready, dog. I don't watch that many music videos anymore. So I put the only music video I probably watched 2 this year. But I like Chloe's Have Mercy. Obviously.
I bet you did like Chloe's Have Mercy. I bet you did. I bet you did.
So that was my nomination.
Animal.
You know that's on camera too.
It's on camera.
I mean,
your wife listens to this.
I just said I watched that one and I can't even.
It's Amber right now. Wait, man. What?
Anyway, moving on to song of the year. Song of the year. Who you got? You want me to start off with it? We're going reverse order. So I put Family Ties by Baby Keem and Kendrick. I think the song is dope. It's amazing.
Okay.
Their team up, their duo this year, I think they had 2 of the top 5 songs of the year.
Jasper, what you got?
I'm simple, man. I would say that My Little Love by Adele, but no, I'm not even gonna do that. A song I really did enjoy this year, I think it really was this year, but that Don Toliver, What You Need, like, and I know that song dropped before the album, but it was produced by Hit Boy, Outer Space.
That was cold.
Hit Boy, man, he's made some.
That Nas album, the King's Disease 2, crazy.
He got Nas spilling the recipe. He got Nas telling Death Row East stories. Like, I never thought we was gonna get that. I never thought we was gonna. They on a different time though.
Man, matter of fact, all right, song of the year for me. I was gonna say that a Nas track, Moments, but I think for me, it gotta be Young Thug's Insure My Wrist. That's my joint. Yeah, that's my joint. I love that song a lot. That's my joint.
Dropping Jewels might be like my.
That's up there too. Yeah, I was between those two, but I think I played Insure My Wrist the most.
All right. Best new artist.
I don't even know who's new anymore. Like, I don't even know like what's new. I feel like it's just like whoever you're hearing. Like who's new? What is a new artist?
I tried to go. I wanted to put like whoever came out like with a debut album, whatever that means. But I also felt like that was kind of broad. So I went ahead and put my man Zamir, or our man Zamir. You know, he had
for sure, yeah.
This year, so
yeah,
put Zamir down for best new artist. We gotta send him a bottle of Casamigos when he wins. He'll enjoy it.
For sure. I don't even know. I have been rocking with Babyface Ray. I don't know how new he is, but I've been rocking with Babyface Ray. Shout out Detroit. I see what y'all doing in Detroit.
He must be new. I've never heard of him.
I've been dropping in the chat. You just don't be listening because you don't like listening to anything that you don't drop. So
that's true.
Now you do.
I'm like my man Jasper. I be my own little world, dog. My own world, bro.
What you got, Jasper?
Man, so I like Babyface Ray, but yeah, he's not that new, man. My little brother.
See, I figured that.
My little brother put me on, but I mean, his shit go crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like you never know, but his shit go crazy. But somebody, man, I've only heard maybe a couple of his songs, but I watch his interviews. I mean, I feel like with any artist, if I'm gonna watch your interviews and if I feel like I can believe your story, then okay, cool, and then I'm gonna listen to your music and then it's gonna all make sense. But Nardo Wick, boy, he's super young, like, but he got a more head on his shoulders.
Yeah, he got a slapper too. That what the F is that?
Yeah, who wants something like that? Who wants smoke?
He wants smoke. Yeah. And you say his interviews is dope, and that's kind of what was making you a fan of him.
Yeah, I mean, just he's super young. I don't even want to say his age. I think he's almost 20.
Really?
Right? He's almost 20, and you hear that song, you know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
But when you interview him, he knows what he's sharp.
Yeah. Damn, 19. He look. Yeah.
And I mean, I know you know how to move, but I mean, he's sharp. So it's like, okay. I gotta salute the young guys. They focus.
Yeah.
They be on it. I
They're
think it's just
different
like
though.
it's a
They're
product of
different,
like
bro.
they're born in and they have so much access to all this information. And I also think there's a bigger onus of mentorship by like our generation and older. Like now, like there's more of an emphasis on it to make sure that we kind of prevent some of the mistakes that our generation made. So I think that, I mean, sometimes it doesn't happen, but I think there is just some general more cultural onus on or emphasis on mentorship. So I think that helps too a lot with when you have people like Nardo Wick and Usain Jasper, they come through, like has a good head on his shoulder and knows what kind of like what he wants to do and what direction. So I think that kind of speaks to that.
Yep. So we'll go over to. You gave your best new artist there. I think you did.
Yeah. I said Babyface Ray, but it
So
wasn't there. But I don't know.
we'll go to the heavy ones. Rap album of the year. We'll start off with Darren since he's been done.
King's Disease 2.
Ooh. You can go ahead, Jasper.
What he said.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call me if you get lost. I mean, King's Disease 2 is ranked number 2 on my list, but Tyler's album was special, man. Like the storytelling from track 1 to track 13 or whatever it is, and how every track's tied in together and how it flows and the DJ drama. It got
nominated for a Grammy, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it did for best rap album of the year. It's an amazing album. Like lyrics, production scratch. I made a comment on one of our podcasts about like how you'll hear like the production again on Call Me If You Get Lost or whatever, and how it's kind of similar to like other rappers and shit like that. And I take that comment back. Like that the production on that album and the production on all of Tyler's albums is completely different from any rap album you've heard or whatever.
Each time. It always sounds fresh and something
new. It grows different. It grows. It's different. It's fresh. So yeah, I just want to retract that comment that I made a few episodes back. Tyler probably.
Are they on your head right now?
Huh? You said what's that?
We was on his head a little bit in the chat.
Yeah.
We was on his head a little bit in the chat.
Yeah. I mean, I go back and listen to our podcast because I just want to work on get better at this or whatever. And every time I listen to that episode, I cringe when I say that. So I just want this is public record. This is out there. So I just want to clear the air. If we ever happen to get Tyler the Creator on one of our episodes in the future, I want to clear the air on that.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. You put it in the air.
So it's out there now. It's happening. At some point, it's happening.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah.
So we'll move over to R&B album of the year. I don't listen to that much R&B anymore. I listen to, and I feel like R&B is kind of taking a different turn on how we're used to it. I feel that's why like a lot of us like still listen to 90s R&B and everything. So this was kind of difficult for me, but I put Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak's album. Yeah. So I put their album as R&B album of the year. If you can even consider that R&B, I don't know.
I'm over here looking through my stuff. Like I don't know. Like I feel like even like Thames' album for Broken Ears. Like I feel like that's more Afrobeats than R&B.
It is. Yeah. Like, but can Afrobeats be thrown in the R&B category?
I don't think that's fair to either genre. That's just my perspective. I feel like that's not fair to either genre. Right? Like I feel like it's
But I feel like most I feel like we consider Afrobeats a form of R&B though. They're singing, right? Like it's a form of rhythm and blues. It's just not more so American rhythm and blues.
I don't feel qualified enough to talk about R&B album of the year. I'm gonna lie to you. I'm over here about to say Leon Bridges, and I feel like I'm just not qualified. Like Gold Digger Sound was great,
but that's R&B. Is that not R&B though?
Yeah, for sure. Like Magnolia is a banger, but I just don't feel comfortable or qualified enough. So I'm gonna defer to Jasper and see what he said.
So I'm a cheat, but I'm a little offended that you guys did not think about this.
What's that?
So we had a great year this year.
We did. We had Hotels. We had Summer Walker's album. We had Leon Bridges' album. We had, like I said, Bruno and Anderson .Paak. We did have a good R&B. But
Allegra dropped some. Maria the Scientist.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But this year, Aaliyah got able to put her music on streaming platforms.
Are we counting Aaliyah? That's not fair.
That's not fair. That's not.
No.
These albums
Why
dropped in like
why is her
2000,
shit why is her
98.
shit starting like it came out this year though?
It did. Well then, fine.
Like-
I'm gonna pick the self-titled album Aaliyah then. 'Cause I was
I'm
running
gonna
that. I run that heavy.
I gotta pick one of the million.
One
But
million.
I mean, like you
So-
said, it dropped 20 plus years ago, right?
Yeah.
Why are we listening to it today? Like,
Bro,
why is it charting like that?
Remember, I said that on random day in the chat. I was like, listening to like the self-titled Aaliyah album, and I was like, yo, like this sounds like it was recorded yesterday. Like this sounds they were so far ahead of the game, like with all her like Stag Major and Timberland, like it was just crazy. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
I would say this about the Aaliyah albums, and this is not to indict anybody. I'm not trying to
what
make
you about to say,
anybody.
man?
I'm not trying to make
This man
anybody
Jasper
feel bad.
going-
About it.
You gonna watch this? You gonna watch this one later? You gonna be like, "Dang,
Oh my
every time I
God, what are you about to say?
No, when I say
this,
no. So I've been, I had the Aaliyah albums downloaded on my iTunes or whatever, but when Apple Music converted, they wiped them out. So obviously when they reappeared on Apple Music, I downloaded them, blah blah blah. But R. Kelly's been going through his trial this past year. And I just been really feeling guilty for some reason every time I listen to these Aaliyah albums and these Aaliyah songs, because I know the ties between them. And I just can't help to think that we've been paying for this dude's legal fees streaming these Aaliyah albums. Like, he's gotten royalties on several checks this year. He's got paid for from several top artists this year, from like people sampling him or whatever. And I just feel guilty listening to it. And
I'm not about to engage in any R. Kelly conversation with you on this public.
I'm just giving you
so
my,
we're gonna move on to the next one.
My conspiracy theory.
We're gonna move on.
Conspiracy theory, Kurt, dog.
Okay.
all I'm gonna say is I did my research when they go back and listen.
Conspiracy theory, Kurt, bro. So I just been feeling guilty about that. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I enjoyed the ones that were dropped without him on the cover.
There's a separation.
Darren don't like conflict, so he don't.
Aaliyah is her.
I don't like anything that's going to. You know what? We're gonna move on to the next.
When you think of Aaliyah, only think of Aaliyah.
Okay.
Exactly. Aaliyah.
Next topic.
Aaliyah.
All right. Okay.
Next topic.
Artist of the year.
I'm gonna go first. So artist of the year. If Hit Boy could be an artist, Hit Boy is an artist.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been going crazy. Like
his run has been crazy this year.
Yeah, he's an artist, so I say he's the artist of the. I mean, that's another cheater, but yeah.
I ain't no cheater. Like for artists of the year, like
producers are artists. Yeah, their ability
what
to
has
create
come
is.
out?
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Young Thug.
Okay.
I think Thug has had an incredible year. Album's incredible,
especially with the success of like all his YSL brand and those
features have been incredible, and I think he's
albums.
finally got like the respect that he deserves as an artist, not only a rapper but just as an artist and his ability to create music. So I'm gonna say Young Thug.
And also like any success that like Lil Baby and Gunna has, like that's Thug's success as well.
Yeah,
like that's
exactly.
Like that's
exactly.
Lil Baby can do no wrong right now either.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Lil Baby.
He's on fire, dog.
Yeah,
he's on fire, bro.
I'm gonna say Lil Baby. And then general album of the year. We're gonna finish with that. Well, I'm sorry. What, Jasper, what's your artist of the year?
He said Hit Boy.
Did you say Aaliyah? Oh, you said Hip Boy. You said Hip Boy. You said Boy. I'm like Aaliyah too. Aaliyah everything. Aaliyah all the way down the ballot. Just Aaliyah. You right, the whole thing. All right, album of the year.
Album of the year. You guys can go ahead first. You guys go first.
I'll go. Hitler Wears Hermes.
Which side? Which one? Side B? First one? Which one?
I mean, they got the same. He just put two different sides. It's just crazy. I don't know, man. Like I go back and forth. Side B is crazy because it starts with that Willie Hutch sample.
Mm-hmm.
Like and he's got his homie just talking shit on him. He just talks so much.
The end is the beginning, or whatever.
The end is it's not how you start.
It's how you
It's how you
end.
feel. Like he said something that stuck me. He was like, "It's the wood and I know he said it's the wood and it's the house." You know, like wood goes all the way into being a house. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, man, you start how you end. Like, he just dropped some crazy shit on. He don't have to do nothing else.
So I wanted this to kind of this is our award. So I put the Melodic Blue by Baby Keem for album of the year. When I put my ballot in, I just think that's it's a really incredible album. I remember listening to a Drake interview maybe 2-3 years ago, and he talked about how Baby Keem, his self-titled EP he had a few years ago was like his favorite album of the year, and I've been hooked ever since. And like his flows are different, the beats are different or whatever. Like he's really like, you can tell he studied Kendrick, one of the best rappers in the game, and kind of like created his own style from that. Like, right, like you can tell the Kendrick influence, or even you don't even know if like he may be influencing Kendrick in some instances, right? But you can tell that they're tied together in some ways. But he also has his own style, and I think this is the perfect example of it. It's dope from beginning to end, and he tells his personal story about like his mom, where he comes from in Vegas and everything. So, it's just not just it's some substance to it as well. So, I want to nominate that for album of the year, although it may not win.
Punked. I'm just trying, but I punk.
I'm about to spin that again. I'm about to go.
I be looking for areas. I be trying to get off it. I swear I be trying.
I had to take breaks.
Trying, bro. I be trying. I will say I did take a break when I was in the Bahamas. Like I ended up celebrating a birthday, a friend's birthday, and I ended up like DJing like the birthday party, like on the aux, not actual DJing, but like on the aux. And that like took me down like a whole 80s rock to 90s hip hop to I was doing that for a week. So I was like my little break from punk. But when I got back, I've been right back on it. So I gotta say that. But yeah.
I have been listening to like I've been trying to listen to like a lot of music. You said DJing, but I have been trying to listen to like a lot of music or whatever, and a lot of.
Yeah, man, shout your DJing skills out. Kurt's like he actually got a turntable. He's sending me mixes. He be DJing.
I be trying.
He be doing a little something.
I be trying.
But I see you.
Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and wrap this up so we can go ahead and get out of here, man. Jasper, go ahead and shout your Instagram, your website out again before we go ahead and get out of here, man.
Yeah, on Instagram, Cydonians with a Z. On Instagram, also Push Your Man Ray. My website is cydonians.com/Shopify. Definitely go out there and check that out. I got a new drop coming in December. And it's I always say it's my biggest one yet. And, so just please, just look at that or whatever. If you rock with it, hopefully you're lucky enough to grab you one. But also, somebody else told me this. I try to drop like one quick thing, but somebody said one of your best investments are your friends. So make sure y'all look out for each other out there and all that. So I appreciate being on the show. For sure.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you joining us, man. Dropping jewels. This is a great time. Yeah, appreciate the drop. Appreciate all the info. Appreciate you joining us on a Sunday afternoon. I ain't got nothing else. Kurt, you got anything?
Yeah, y'all be sure to follow us on on Instagram at rapnerds_MSG and on Twitter at rapnerdsMSG. Follow us on YouTube, The Rap Nerds. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple, Spotify. I'm gonna put it on Tidal, all that good stuff. Google, everywhere you want to listen to your podcast.
All of that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get out of here. It's Kurt, aka Leroy Green III.
Darren Glow Skywalker, appreciate it. Appreciate it again, Jasper, Cydonia, all that. Y'all enjoy yourselves. We're gonna talk to you again before the end of the year. Happy holidays, happy New Year. Y'all be safe. Peace.
Get your nominations in. Link is gonna be in our bio. Get your nominations in for your music support group
and
awards.
cop the Cydonia when it drop.
I apologize
quick.
for the Aaliyah slander earlier.
It's all good.
Peace.
Yeah.